Welcome, sixth graders. I'm looking forward to helping you with your final projects. But before you begin, I want to make sure you know the rules about using other people's work, also known as copyright. In this presentation, you will learn the copyright law as well as user rights. Teachers and students are especially privileged under fair use, but it also comes with special responsibilities. Namely, we should transform the material into something new. We might need to get permission or learn which images are free to use. Plagiarism means taking credit for someone else's work, so we will go over how to avoid this pitfall. Pay close attention. You'll test your understanding with different scenarios concerning copyright, fair use, and plagiarism at the end of this presentation. Have you ever been in a group where you did most of the work, but everyone got the credit? Imagine then making amazing discoveries with research or writing the greatest song ever heard and having someone else become famous or even rich after they stole it out from under your feet. Copyright is the legal rights to an original work of any kind: music, research, fiction writing, video, art, any of that. Copyright law sets the limits on how someone's work may be copied. It protects the author, who might like to get credit or money for their work. If you purchase someone else's creative work, CDs, DVDs, painting, research documents, books, you name it, you have some rights. For example, you can resell it, loan it to a friend, destroy it, give it away. But making copies, creating a performance, holding a public viewing, or renting it would impact the author's ability to make money because others might not feel the need to purchase the work once you've done this. There are many works that are not protected, but you should still give credit where credit is due. If it is not your original work, share where the idea came from. That's just fair. Which leads us to our next and most important slide for students and teachers. While we certainly want to protect a creator's right to credit or profit for his or her work, it is also important to the world of education that we get practice building on the knowledge of others and creating for ourselves. So we also have fair use. Fair use was specifically created to support the education system. You can see here that, depending on the purpose, nature, amount, and effect, people use the work for education and not for profit might use the work with no penalty. Our purpose in sixth grade will primarily be research. By looking at a variety of sources, you can build your understanding of a topic and create new knowledge. The nature of the work is important too, but it might apply to teachers more than students. I should be careful to choose materials that serve a learning purpose and not material that is for entertainment alone. For example, I really like the movie Sandlot, but showing it to the class because it's fun would not be fair use. The amount of the work matters too. Small portions, a quote, a brief summary, or paraphrase is fine. But if no one will want to read it because I gave away the heart of the piece, I've shared too much. Finally, the effect should be taken into account. Will the owner lose money? Is the product I created too similar to the original? Then it is probably not fair for me to use. Lucky for us, there are many people who gladly share their creative work as long as we give them credit. This symbol, CC, or Creative Commons on the left, means users can use the material freely. Public domain is another symbol to look for because you can use this information too. Even though it is free, please always give credit where credit is due. If the author is unknown, that should also be stated when you use the material. Notice the caterpillar on the slide? He will turn into a beautiful butterfly. This is transformative. In the work we create, if we have made something new, we are also being transformative. If we recite back what someone else has said, or summarize, we are just beginning to understand the potential for our learning. It is when we take that information, synthesize it with other facts we have gathered, and create new knowledge that we have truly engaged and learned from the experience. So don't get stuck as a wriggling worm. Draw new conclusions by analyzing what you've read, then critique, argue, make a parody, or build on your argument by using the expert's opinion. Then you can soar with new wings. Sometimes researchers come across information they would really like to use, but the author makes it clear they don't want anyone using the work without permission. In your resources, you will see this form, which helps you ask for permission to use the work. Because the purpose is education, you will often find people willing to share. If the author says no, then please respect copyright. It might also happen that you have used a work, then the author contacts you and demands you remove it from your project. Again, respect the author's wishes. There's plenty of information out there for students to use that respects authorship and copyright. Google Images is one of the common searches used to add pictures to PowerPoints. How do you know if it is fair to use? Follow these 3 easy steps and you'll have images that are free for you to use. Step 1 is to start with a general search. Once images appear, step 2 is to go to Settings and select Advanced Search. And step 3 is to select Usage Rights. So change this to free to use or share. And add Modify if you think you will want to change the image somehow. Whenever you are searching for materials, whatever engine you use, keep the advanced search in mind. It might help you zero in on what is fair to use and free to use. Your choices might be more limited, but you will be respecting the author's rights. In school, we create new knowledge from the work of others. We want credit for our work, so respect the work by crediting others too. You will have many opportunities in the coming years to research, make new knowledge, and cite your sources. We will have a lesson on MLA format next week. The basic rules are: use quotation marks for direct quotes and cite the source. When paraphrasing or recalling information in your own words, mention the author. If the idea is not your own, credit where the idea came from. We know you are just learning this skill, so we will help you if you make mistakes. As you get older, you are expected to know this and practice it without being reminded. Plagiarism, failing to credit your source, can get you into trouble. Both academically, the teacher might give you a 0 for the assignment, and behaviorally, it is in the student handbook that plagiarism might result in disciplinary measures. Give your best effort, though, and your teacher and librarian will help you avoid this problem. Let's take a look at a few cases and have you determine if it is fair use or not. Weird Al, for example, creates parodies of famous songs. Gangsta's Paradise became Amish Paradise. Beat It became Eat It. How did he get away with this crime? Take a look at Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio. This song was the theme for a movie called Dangerous Minds, about a teacher helping kids in the inner city high school.
You want to tell me what this is all about?
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. He be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying to talk.
All right, he's pretty cool. Now here is Al's version. You decide. Does it seem like fair use?
As I walk through the valley where I harvest my grain, I take a look at my wife and realize she's very plain. But that's just perfect for an Amish like me. You know I shun fancy things like electricity. At 4:30 in the morning I'm milking cows. Jebediah feeds the chickens and Jacob plows. Fool, and I've been milking and plowing so long that even Ezekiel thinks that my mind is gone. Huh?
All right, so there's Weird Al. Though he might look it, he is no fool. He always gets permission before creating his parodies. Although he's been rejected a number of times by numerous artists, many others are flattered that he chose them, and licensing agreements are made with each artist and their affiliates. Let's put your understanding to the test. I'm going to give you these different scenarios. I'd like you to listen and then decide, is it fair use or not? Students take digital pictures of local streets and businesses for their web projects. They will be posting their projects online. This is fair use. These images may be used in projects and posted on the web. Number 2. A middle school science class is studying ocean ecosystems, and they must gather material for multimedia projects. The teacher downloads pictures and information on marine life from various commercial and non-commercial sites to store in a folder for students to access. This is fair use. You can search on the web for resources, but these projects can't be put back on the web without permission. Number 3. A teacher wants to use a textbook for tutoring, but he thinks it is too expensive to buy for all the students. Instead, he makes copies for the group of students that he is going to tutor. This is not fair use. The purpose is educational, but the teacher is using the entire work, and by providing copies to all students, he is affecting the market. Number 4. A student prepares and gives a presentation that uses a short clip of a film. Permission was not obtained to use the short clip. This is fair use. The copyright fair use explicitly provides for classroom use of copyrighted material. Students may display their own educational presentation for instruction. Number 5. A school had an open house where they presented a slideshow of students that had the entire song, A Whole New World, playing in the background for the movie Aladdin, made by Disney. This is not fair use, and this actually happened. The school was sued by Disney. A licensed song cannot be used for more than 30 seconds for a big audience. Number 6. A student runs out of time for writing his book report. Lucky for him, Goodreads has a review on the same book, so he copies and pastes this into his own document. This is not fair use. Okay, this one is pretty obvious, but you would be amazed at how many students try to get away with this kind of thievery. Keep in mind your teachers know you're writing. If it does not sound like you, we will investigate. How did you do on this quiz? Who got all 6? 5? 4? 3? We'd better start over and do this again. Or I'll make it available on the Google Library Classroom. We will practice more with these skills, but first let's see if you can put this learning into your own words. Thanks for being a great audience. Feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, my reference page. These are the sources I used to bring this presentation together. Don't forget, always give credit where credit is due.